Hello and welcome to Immortal Realms Vampire Wars. I'm Shadowcoast and welcome to the channel. Over the next several minutes, we're going to outline how to play Immortal Realms, covering basic play concepts. We'll also give you a feel for the game and gameplay. Whenever you start a new sandbox mission, or effectively a new year, you will be able to select certain cards. Because we are kicking off a new sandbox playthrough, we actually have starting clan cards that you can see here. We will receive these three same clan cards every time we start a new campaign for Morea, who I'm playing as for this example. Now, at the beginning of each year, you will be able to select several cards, which we'll see. But before that, you will always have, at least in Sandbox, and in many cases the campaign, a quest. Now, you have a certain number of turns to complete the quest, and then you can see your rewards. So in this case, if we produce or gather 50 blood, we will receive 30 experience, which is pretty good. We always want experience. We also need blood. Blood is the main currency, which we'll cover. Now, like I said, every year, which is 4 turns, we will be able to select 3 out of 5 cards. So in this case, and these can be different each time and random. So in this case, I'm going to target replenishment mana because we're going to be using a lot of that. Heal, and we're going to increase our veterancy so our units are higher tier level or higher veteran level, which means they can do more damage. Okay, let's talk about the UI first. First and foremost, blood, unsurprising, is our economy. We need blood to maintain our army, to recruit new units, to, in some cases, make upgrades and do other things, as well as play cards, which have different effects. So blood is the economy. The way we gain blood is to obtain or maintain villages and cities. So here we can see that this village which we own produces 1 blood. Now this has a population 1 out of 2, and it will gain a population 1 per year. I do not want to wait 4 turns before the next year occurs, and that's because they're the 4 seasons. So what I can do is play this card, spending 4 blood to increase the village or city by +2 population. Now you'll notice here, villages can only have a maximum of 2 population, which in turn produce 2 blood. So ideally, if I had a city that had 2 open spots, this card would be more efficient. But I don't for this example, so I'm going to drag and drop it. Now that is a key concept here. These cards you drag and drop. You will have multiple armies. You need to drag healing cards and drop it on them. Alright. Recruiting. There are a few ways you can recruit. One way is to leverage cards. In this case, we have Recruit Morea. Cast on a Morea Keep to recruit a unit for 25% less cost. Now, so that's one way to do it. If I drag this card over here and I have my army here and I drop it, I can recruit. Now you can see here I can only select my tier 1 units. I do not have access to my tier 2 units or my tier 3 units. I need to unlock through Legacy the ability to recruit higher tiered units, and then on top of that I have to upgrade the area that I'm recruiting from to be able to recruit tier 2 or 3 units. So this is part of the strategy longer term. What will you upgrade? What will you research? So in this case, we have 25% off. I'm going to go for a range unit, which is an apprentice. I like range units. The other way you can recruit is when you're sitting in a keep or location that has recruitable units. So here you can see there are different units you can recruit, right? So we're actually going to outline the other way, but effectively when you're standing there, you can go up here and the fist is recruiting. So you can see I can recruit units from this standpoint. So this brings us to our next concept, action points or AP. In the bottom left here, you can see action points. Action points are used for movement. They're used for army actions, which are these things up here. Which also include recruiting. So this will be an important concept. You have to manage your action points. Now, there are things that will give us more action points, cards that will add action points. So we're going to collect those. Now, you just saw there I double clicked on my gain 15 blood card immediately to increase that. Okay, so we covered some basics. How do we expand our empire? Well, to move, you click on the area and expend an action point to move. So in this case, we're going to right click over here and move to the cave. Now, you'll notice when I click on the cave, they have units I can recruit, but I can't recruit it yet because I have to claim or basically capture this tile. So up here, one of my army actions is claim. So I'm going to use another AP to claim this area. Once I have this area claimed, if I click on my unit, I can actually look at recruit, and I can recruit units that are specific to that type of entity or component. So I'm going to recruit an automaton, which is pretty cool because this cave allows us to recruit automatons. Now, once I unlock through Legacy, which we'll see in a minute, level 2, and I upgrade the cave to level 2, I will be able to then recruit. One of the things you can do with your army is construction when you're in an area and effectively upgrading it. So let's end our turn. But before we end our turn, that's going to tell us that we have negative income, so we're going to want to work on building out villages and cities to make positive income. And then we have an unspent legacy point. So if I click on that, this brings up the legacy tree. The legacy tree, not surprisingly, has upgrades. So we're going to click on this one because we have to start. When you click on it, it does assign it, so you don't have like a confirmation, so just be careful when you're clicking. A few things here. All of these are going to give you bonuses, so all of them are good. Some are better than others based off your playstyle and your build. So for example, right, if you're going to be using automatons a lot and you really like them, you're going to want to build towards assembly theory because you can reduce their cost by up to 30%, right? So there is strategy that goes into this. We're not going to cover it. There is one thing I will say. You want to follow, in general, the vein that has elites. And then champions if you want to obtain higher tier units, which you are going to want to do because you're going to need them as quickly as possible. The enemy or enemy AI will be having higher tier units, and they do a lot more damage. So, effectively, to get to elites, once we unlock this, then we can upgrade different areas to then be able to recruit level 2. So here, if we do one in channel, the next one in mana, the next one in artificial ley lines, then I can put one in elites. I do not need to have these other ones up or down to unlock this. So literally in 4 legacy points, or 3 more legacy points, the 3rd legacy point, or I guess technically 4th legacy point I receive, I will be able to unlock elites. So you don't have to go worry about the one above or below, it's just that straight line. Now, similarly, if I go up here, I should be able to unlock this. So it's really just having one in front of it, if that matters. Okay. Covered some basic concepts. We still have actions left. What actions we have? Negative income. So we're going to click close, end the turn. So let's talk about raising other armies, because this isn't as intuitive as one might think. We're going to move over to the manor. We're going to claim the manor. And then we are going to turn. So you have to go to manors and you have to click turn, and this will allow us to recruit another lord. So you can see the lord's deck that you're going to have to unlock as they level up. And effectively their bonuses, their attacks, all this fun stuff. So we're going to just, we're going to pick, we already have a witch. So we're going to pick this one just for fun. The way this works is I need to play this Lord card in my keep. You see how it only lets me select a keep? And then she generates there. Now, your Lords are not going to have any units in them. So it's very critical that you recruit as soon as possible. Units to level them up. Now every lord and faction has unique abilities. So Maria, one of their unique abilities is converting mana to blood. But mana is really important because the vast majority of our units or our damage, we're going to want to leverage cards, mana cards. So that brings us to combat cards in combat. Over here, you have this tooltip. So this is your army. These are your cards for your lord. This is the equipment for your lord. And this is just a general description if you want to read through about your lord. On the cards, your starting lord and sandbox will have all the cards unlocked. As you gain experience and level up, you can increase the impact of your cards, effectively leveling them up. So this one, I can now deal 55 damage instead of 35 damage, which is important. Alright, so that's how you upgrade cards. We are not going to get into combat, but I will have a combat tutorial if you would like. So that is some basic gameplay and understanding of how to play the game. You move around, you claim territory, you can do actions above here depending on it. Make sure you manage your AP, and you're also going to want to start watching your mana and then also your army upkeep and blood to make sure you're generating enough blood to maintain your economy. Thank you so much for watching. I am actively trying to grow my channel, so if you do go on to find this content helpful and want to support the channel, please consider subscribing, and I hope to see you in future videos. And also be sure to smash that like button, it really helps. Shadow Coast out.